ladyidiy, animism, never settle. Fancy Eggs Benedict for breakfast. Ladyidiy chores.
Today we're showing you how to do one of our favorite breakfast staple items, which is a classical Eggs Ben. Now an Eggs Benedict is very simple enough. English muffins, very important to have these. Then you have a nice piece of ham, which I got from Restaurants, which is just a smoked maple ham. You can play around with different types of ham you want. Of course, nice brown organic eggs. These are going to be used two ways. One, for the actual egg that we're going to poach. Second way is to make the sauce. Now the sauce is basic emulsion of fat, eggs, and then a little bit of lemon. So Selene will start by separating our two eggs here.
Well, I'm just going to do the clean technique, which is moving it from one shell to the other. You can just use your hand and pour it in your hand and it won't fall through. It's kind of fun right now. There. One.
So now that we have the egg yolks that are separated, I'm going to show you how to do this. Very simple enough. I put my bowl here so it's nice and hot. Turned off the fire because I don't really need that anymore since my water is still hot, as you can see here. We're going to start off with our butter, and then Selene is you're gonna pour in the eggs while I'm whisking inside slowly. The whole point here is I don't want my yolks to basically cook and I don't want this to become an omelet. This is supposed to be a sauce, and this is what we're trying to achieve here. So it's a nice creamy consistency without necessarily it being too cooked or overcooked. Now Selene is going to add about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice right in here. Squeeze it and pour it. There, yep. When you have the mixture that coats your whisk just like this, then you basically know it's ready. So we're just going to keep that on the side. I'm going to get a pan nice and hot here just to start our bread. Put my butter with a bit of olive oil again just to prevent it from burning. Selene's going to slice up her bread, so I got 1 English muffin that we're cutting in half. We're just going to toast that bottom side down, and then we're just going to fry up some of our ham as well. When you have some color, turn it around. Any type of bread that you want to use that will just soak up that egg yolk perfectly, or anything you have on hand. Even you can use pan de sal, even if you want to do something a bit more Filipino. Once it's toasted, you're just going to transfer that here. I'm going to take our ham out as well. You can use guanciale, you can use bresaola, you can use prosciutto, you can use parma ham, you can use jumbo parmesan, you can use bacon, you can use absolutely any part of the animal that's been cured in salt or salted. And that's good for the second piece as well. Now, the most important part and probably the most complicated part for most people is the cooking of the eggs. So I'm first going to bring my water to boiling point.
It's so hard because it always cracks. You have to have the right temperature of the water and the right amount of vinegar without having your eggs taste like the actual vinegar. So I haven't mastered this skill yet. But I don't know.
I get it right maybe once every 2 times, 50% of the time. So once I got my water here that is boiling, we're going to add about, I usually use 1/4 to 1/2 a cup inside. So that's about 1/2 cup, or 1/4 of a cup. So as the bubbles come up, you see we're almost ready. So then what people do, usually that's a mistake, is they crack the egg right there. And then they twirl it, which can work sometimes, but if your egg's not super fresh, and fresh eggs here are probably more important than anything else, it won't work. So we're just going to pre-crack it into a bowl first before putting it here. First, turn off the fire. I'm going to create some sort of vortex whirlpool in the water, and then I'm going to drop the egg in and stop everything I'm doing. And hope
for my egg base
that it works. That egg is basically done when you see it perfectly forming like that. So I got a bowl here, and what I did, because we're going to be using this later, I lined it with olive oil so that when I put my egg inside, it won't break and it'll be easy to slide out later. So I'm going to prepare the second egg, and before we do the second egg, we need to turn our water. Yeah, go ahead. And I'm just going to transfer that onto our bowl here. Perfect. So Selene's first going to start by putting our ham onto it. Perfect. Now for the tricky part of actually putting the egg on top.
Oh yeah.
And then the second one of breaking the eggs. Perfect. Now, we're gonna heat up our sauce just a little bit, and I'm gonna taste it just to make sure everything's fine. We're gonna add a little bit of seasoning, so a bit of salt, and then someone's gonna add a bit of lemon juice to it. Right? Just about 1 more tablespoon. Now I'm gonna take the sauce and we're gonna put it onto our eggs here. First one. Now this is a classic hollandaise. If you want to do something special to it, you can always add garlic, onions, things like that to make it a bit more interesting. This is how we like to eat it.
And then some
Parsley right on top.
and green pepper.
And some cayenne pepper just to finish it. Last minute seasoning, salt from the top, a little bit of black pepper from the top as well. And this is the best part. So if it's properly cooked, you should have a nice volcanic eruption of yolk, just like that. And just put it back this way. And we're gonna take a nice, gooey, messy bite.
When a person has a secret is not willing to tell others, you will find a tree hole and set your secret to the tree hole. Ladyidiy is Al Bobo's lady. She launched activities called Give Me a Love Letter, I Find Love for You. As long as you send a love letter to Ladyidiy, she will treasure for you in Love Bank. Give Ladyidiy a love letter, let those you love or loved meet again,